Good morning. Good to be back on the boat. We've got the rudder bearing back. What we've done is, after we took this out, we sent it off to a local company to have some grooves machined into the outside of it. I don't know if you can see them on there, but when you compare them to compare it to the picture of the old one, you'll be able to see these three grooves that we've had in. On the Moody owner's site, they had a drawing from one of the Moody engineers who'd suggested a modification to the bearing by putting these grooves in, to which we can apply O-rings to the outside of the tube, so that when this sits in, it's going to stop water coming up the tube between the bearing and the tube, so hopefully that would stop any water ingress coming up that way. And obviously we still need to put the O-rings on the inside, so I'll look at that now.
Not yet.
So we got the O-rings delivered from the UK, from a company called Bearings for You, I think. I'll double check that. But these are the main seals that go in the top on the inside here. So these are what seal against the rudder shaft. But the modification that Moody suggested said to place another 2 O-rings on the bottom of the tube, which is at the top here, and then another O-ring on the outside of the tube at the top. So we'll just put the bottom ones on first, and then just make sure that these are going to sit in to the grooves nicely, and it looks like they are. You can just feel the outside of the O-ring there, which is good. That feels like it should give a good seal. Just place this one in exactly the same, and it just sits there. They feel quite good. And the top O-ring, which I think these are the same, just that one's bent over. And with the top one, that feels good. And these are the 2 new rudder seals that are going to go inside here. Might be a little bit fiddly. Get the bottom one in first. Feels good inside there. The top O-ring in place. So now the bearing tube is ready to go back in. Right, so basically all we need to do is just drop the bearing back into the tube here. Can only go in one way, and there's a shoulder inside where this rebate sits on, so you can't push it in too far, and it's It's also worth just noting that there's actually 2 grub screws that hold this in place when it's inserted. On the Moody Owners forum, it suggested to look for a couple of rusty marks where the grub screws have been, but these weren't actually rusting, so they were quite difficult to see. Yeah, once those were out, this came out quite easily, so I'm hoping it should go in quite easily with the new O-rings on the side. So here it goes. Just line up the grub screw holes. It's going down now. Nearly in.
It's to be hoped that things are lined up, otherwise you'll never get your screws in. It's almost there.
Nearly. I think that's it.
We can check it outside to see if it's level. I'll go and check. I'm going to check if it's flush at the bottom. That's flush.
Flush.
It's flush.
Brilliant.
So that's the tubing. Now to get the grub screws back in.
Find the hole.
No.
Right, I'm just going to try and find the holes for the grub screws. We'll do the one on the inside first. Hopefully the holes are lined up correctly. Might be able to see better through there.
Well, they look lined up correctly because it's going straight in, isn't it? Bit fiddly though, isn't it?
Yeah.
How far in do I have to do it?
Well, not too far in, just till you meet a bit of resistance, because what you don't want to do is collapse the tube. I don't think it will collapse anyway, but that looks alright, that feels alright there now.
Brilliant. Well, we won't film the next one because it's a bit more difficult. This is the second grub screw, but it is a bit difficult to film and a bit difficult to get in because of the position of everything.
No, I haven't got my glasses on either, so I can't really.
Do you want your glasses? I don't think you'd be able to see anyway. It'd just be by touch. Done.
I need my glasses, really, I can't. Tiny bit.
Pair of glasses and a torch makes all the difference. There we go. One more too.
Right, brilliant.
Done?
Yeah, yeah, so the next thing I guess that we need to talk about is the copper rods that we need to put through the skeg shoe on the to hold the rudder heel in place, because I guess that's the next job really, that we need to cut those to length. We got a metre long length of copper rod sent from the UK. When it arrived here in Spain, we had €15 duty to pay on it, which was a little bit steep because I think it was like half the cost of the actual rubber,
The copper.
copper rod. So I think they've probably made a mistake there. They must have maybe valued it themselves.
Okay, should we get the copper rod ready? Have a look at that.
Yeah. So what we'll need to do with those is we'll need to cut the copper rods to length, and then I think we'll have to ask the guys in the boatyard if they'll then nail the copper. So we need to heat it up to make it soft. So we need to beat the ends of the copper so that they spread over, so they swell up over the outside of the holes like rivets. So that's what we need to do with those. And the other thing that we need to do is just get everything ready and cleaned up on the rudder to just go back into place. So if we do that now, with a view to, well, we might even be able to do the copper rods later on this afternoon. Although it's 2:15 now. Although I don't think the guys in the boatyard do disappear off for a siesta, so we might be able to see them, but chances are we might have to organise it for in the morning, because we'll need a pump truck or a jack to lift the rudder back up underneath the boat and push the rudder shaft through the bearing. But at least we're a step closer. We've got the bearing back in place with the new seals in, and yeah, it looks good. It looks quite snug in there. Right, so what we're going to do is just measure the length that we need to cut the copper rods to. So I'm just going to use a drinking straw just to mark the outer edge of these, and then I'm going to add a bit to it. So this is going to be number 1. I'm just going to add an inch to it. The reason that we're adding an inch to these is so that when the copper rods are going through, we want half an inch to stick out either side, so that we have the ends of the copper rod over the holes, so that they're going to end up looking something like that when we're done. Number 4. Number 5. So what I've done here is I've just marked up the copper rod and numbered them, so they're going to fit in these holes when we come to knock these in. So I'm just going to hold it in here while I cut them off with a slip disc. So there we've got our 5 copper rods in no particular order, ready to fit through these holes. So what we need to do now is we need to ask the guys in the marina here if they'll heat the ends of the copper rods to anneal them, to make them soft and to make them softer. So as we fit these, as we put these through, they can be hammered over. So that's that.
I'm just trying to get this back section off the rudder so we can clean it up. I don't suppose we don't have to get it off, but it'd be ideal if we could get it off and paint it properly and then put it back on with the shoe that we've already painted nice and black. Just to build up of anti-foul, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it was just stopping it spinning all the way around to drop off.
See if it'll come off now.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, excellent. Well, that can all be cleaned up and I can give that a coat of paint on.
Yeah.
That's the fitting. Now all sanded and painted, and then it'll be painted black to match this. When the grey's dry, probably tomorrow now. But that's another job off the list. Hopefully tomorrow the rudder can go back on if we can get help, because it's a bit heavy. Well, we're getting ready to put the rudder back on. Got a pump truck jack thing from the marina, and we fixed the shoe back on, and we'll finish painting it later. We filled the shoe with butyl because that appears to be what was in it when we took it off. So the officer coming over shortly with some mechanics, and they're going to lift the rudder up into place, and then they're going to fit these bolts for us. Okay, so we've borrowed this pump truck from inside, and we've got the rudder literally just in
By about 10 mil
at the top. But unfortunately,
we can't get the jack.
The pump truck doesn't go any higher than that. So with 2 of us, there's absolutely no chance we can physically lift that in up there. And about 3 hours ago, they were going to come and help us in 20 minutes. So we just thought we'll have a go ourselves. And obviously we've only got this far now, so we've had to chock it up at both sides to take the weight in case the pump truck decides it's going to go down or something. We'll just have to wait now for them to come. Might be getting up from the siestas soon. Well, we couldn't film much of that because it was a bit of a nightmare getting this rudder back on. It was so heavy. We've got the marina yard to come and help us eventually, and they built this platform. The rudder's now in, fully back in. The rods are through, which the marina staff are going to be doming apparently. This side's a bit cleaner so you can see them. So that's the bits that we've left sticking out so that they can be braid over at the ends. There's this grey butyl stuff everywhere, stuck everywhere. Darren's walked in it. The 3 people that were helping us get the rudder back in have just got the tools and gone, shut the door. So I think they've had enough of us asking them for help. But we only asked once, and we did wait about 3.5 to 4 hours for them to come. But anyway, it's done now. We can have a drink now. We're actually going out tonight to another boat, so that should be a nice change. Don't have to make the tea tonight.
So we've just trimmed the copper rods to size so that they'll form the rivets that hold the skeg shoe on. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to anneal the ends so we can beat the ends over to form a mushroom shape either side of the shoe. So that's what we're going to do at the moment. I'm going to heat them up with this blowtorch and let them cool on their on, put them back in, and then maybe just keep applying a tiny bit of heat in while it's in the skeg, just so that it keeps the metal as soft and as easy to work as possible, really.
It's the first time we've ever done this, so
yeah, first time.
Big learning curve, and we'll film it, and hopefully we won't film it doing it wrong.
We've got a selection of hammers.
We have. Sounds scary, doesn't it? Changing colour. Can take a while though, can't it? Like a minute or something like that to get through the rod. Difficult to tell when it's actually ready. There's a lot of heat coming out of that gun now. I can feel it coming. It's not glowing red. I don't know. Difficult to see in the daylight, I suppose, but we'll just try it. Try one before we do the other four. So we've now got three of them in. 1, 2, 3. This is going to be the next one, and then that one with these tolls. These are the 3 that we've done. So that was the first one, which is really good. That was the second one, which is okay. This is the third one, which isn't too bad, but I think the more it goes on, the harder they get, because you've got to hold a hammer on one side while the hammer from the other side, so it's really hard work, and we've been at it for hours. Darren's there heating up the copper, or annealing the copper rod, I think that's what it is, ready to hammer. So we'll crack on and hopefully get it done today. So this morning's job now, we've got 4200 sealant now around the studs and around the shoe, and I'm going to just prime and anti-foul both sides of the rudder area so that we can top coat it with anti-foul. Unfortunately the anti-foul will be black because we can't get blue in Spain, and then tomorrow at 2:30 we're going back in the water. It's all undercoated now with primer, underwater primer, so then as soon as it's dry I can put the black paint over. Okay. Today's job is putting the Quadrant back on the rudder shaft that's coming through. What are you doing there? Putting some grease on?
Yeah, this is just copper grease, just putting on the back of the key shaft for it to go in the rudder shaft. have to turn the rudder actually in there. Well, that's not too bad. That's looking good. That's roughly where it needs to sit, I think. Maybe just clean the back of that up.
Yeah.
Just a bit of verdigris on this casting for the Quadrant. Just needs to come off a little bit before it's together. That's better.
Not going in.
No.
Try all the other ones in it. I'll probably turn now. Bolts up now on the Quadrant. It's a bit fiddly because there's not a lot of space. Putting the steering cables back on around the Quadrant. I can't really get a good picture of how he's doing it, but maybe this one will be a bit easier.
Yeah, but I'm not sure which way. Might just have, if you just turn the steering wheel.
Yeah, and then you shout.
Yeah, but just do it slow.
turn that to starboard, so let's just give you enough slack as it's gone on this time, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh no, how come that's moved? Right, so steering cables are done. A little bit of cleaning up to do. Darren's got dirty hands. Get that? That's why we should wear gloves, but they're probably not any good. But it's in and it turned the steering wheel and it works. Brilliant. Okay, that's the rudder back on. All painted. The studs look pretty good. I think we did a good job with those. And now we're ready for going back in the water. So apologies for no sailing in this video, and it just purely rudder work, but it was essential before we can actually get sailing again. Thanks for watching.